Hello everyone, welcome to Creatively Crafty Me. I am Charlena, and in today's video I just want to give you an update on my Sophie's Universe blanket. This will be a crochet along for however long it takes to complete the actual Sophie's Universe blanket. Every week we're working on one part. This week we worked on part 1. This Saturday I will be working on part 2. And I just want to show y'all how my blanket is turning out so far. I did make a previous video of all the yarns that I was going to use for my blanket. I have decided that I am going to use all Hobby Lobby yarn, and my color scheme is grays, blues, and whites. If you want to see the actual colors that I use, just check the last video that I posted and you can see all the colors that I plan on using in my blanket. Now my blanket, all my yarns and everything thankfully does fit in this little bag. I received this bag last Christmas from my daughter, and I'm so glad that everything does fit in this blanket. I'm so glad that everything does fit in this bag. So I just have one bag for all the yarn, the blanket, the book, and all my notions. So let me just give you a quick look at what this Sophie's Universe blanket is currently looking like. So like I said, we are on part 1, and I have completed part 1. And that is currently what my blanket is looking like. I have, believe it or not, I have weaved in the ends so far because I started thinking if I wait until the entire blanket is complete to weave in the ends, that is going to be a lot of ends, because there were a lot of ends for this small section here. So for every part that we actually complete, I am going to actually weave in my ends. So I started with the gray, and then I went to the light blue, and then a darker shade of blue, the dark blue, and then back to the gray. And I am going to incorporate other colors that I have chosen for part 2 of this Sophie Universe blanket. Now, in the last video, I did say that I wasn't sure if I was going to make 1 or 2 blankets, and I have decided that I am going to make 2, mostly because I have some yarn that I had not used, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to use that yarn. So I have that Sophie's Universe blanket in this bag here. So the last one I showed you, this one here, is done with 4-weight yarn. And the blanket that I'm going to show you now is being made with DK yarn. Now, firstly, let me show you the yarn that I plan on using. Somewhere back towards the early part of all this craziness, we received this box for our Crochet Society box. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know I love Crochet Society. I have been receiving the Crochet Society crochet kits since box 1, and I'm not actually sure what box this was, but when the beginning of all this craziness started happening and we was told that we needed to stay home, this was the box that came, that was sent out to us. So it was a stay home, stay crafty box. I did love this box. I love the concept of this box. I love the idea of this box. Unfortunately, when everyone was being told to stay home, I couldn't stay home. I still worked. I worked full time the entire time. I never was able to take time off. We literally had to go in all the time. So I never actually at the time got to use my yarn from this box because it was too chaotic. Life had just gotten chaotic, not just for me, but for everybody. But life was chaotic, and crocheting was not something that was on my mind. So I did not get to use the box. So let me show y'all the yarns that came in this box. So it came with this bag that also says Stay Home, Stay Crafty from Crochet Society. And it was a box. I'm gonna put that to the side for right now. And it was a box with full size skeins of yarn. So we received these 8 skeins of yarn, and this yarn was for a blanket. It did not come with the pattern for the blanket, but you was able to download the pattern as well as the bands if you wanted for the yarn. I, like I said, didn't do anything. So I can't tell you exactly what yarn this is. I could actually look it up. This may be Bella Coco yarn. I'm not 100% sure. But these are the colors that came in the Stay Crafty box for that month. So we got this pink, peach, yellow, lavender, white, beige, green, and this baby blue. And with this yarn as my primary color, I plan on using, in addition to the yarn from the Stay Home, Stay Crafty box, I am going to include this Yarn B Soft and Sleek DK weight yarn in the shade Ivy. This is a yarn from Hobby Lobby, just like with my last blanket with the worsted weight blanket with the medium 4 blanket. I wanted to get a yarn that I felt like I would be able to get more of if necessary. So I do have 4 balls of this. I have 4 or 5, I'm not sure, but I have at least 4, and I'm hoping that that's enough. If not, then I believe I can go back and purchase more. But yeah, so this is just their Soft and Sleek DK low pill fiber yarn in the shade Ivy, and I am using this 4mm crochet hook. This crochet hook did come in the Stay Home, Stay Crafty box, and I am using it to make a second Sophie's Universe blanket. So this is what my blanket is looking like so far. This shade here, this darker shade here, is from a scrap ball of yarn that I had. Yeah. So the yellow, the white, the pink, this blue, and this yellow all came from the Stay Home, Stay Crafty box. But that darker shade of pink right there is just from the scrap ball of yarn that I had. I'm not sure what type of yarn it is. It was just a ball of yarn left over from some project that I made in the past. And so I decided I'm going to incorporate this into this blanket as well. And I am going to try to use up other scrap balls of yarn as well, because I would like to put a dent. I don't think I'm going to put much of a dent into the yarn that I have, but I would like to try anyway. So yeah, so these are my 2 current Sophie's Universe blankets, and I have weaved in the ends on both of them because I am terribly afraid to do the whole blanket and have to weave those ends in. I am terribly afraid to make the whole blanket and have to weave the ends in later on. That is something I don't want to do. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is my Sophie's Universe blanket so far, part 1. If you would like to see what my blanket continues to look like, come back for part 2. Stick around, see what else I have going on, and I will talk to you in the next video. Okay, bye.